one, better two. Better one, better two. Turn down the intensity. Where's the light go? Washed. Okay, turn down. It's very good. The only thing I don't like about that light is that it has a high-pitched whine when you turn it down low. Let's see here. Let's see here. We get clear all notifications. Should be bother. Okay, we're lit. Scripts up. We're ready to go. Save the clock tower. Save the clock tower. Yeah. Testing. Testing. Okay, I think we're good. We're not clipping. Doesn't matter. All right. Almost forgot something important here. I need to reset my switch deck to the proper screen. Otherwise I'll hit dead end when I get to the end of the show. And work with it. And ready. Tonight, Mark Hamill follows the dogs on Twitter, a micro Voyager, and remember to save the clock tower. All that and more on the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 102 of Multiverse Tonight. I'm, of course, your host, Thomas Townley. I can't believe we're almost halfway through November. Man, this month seems to be going by kind of fast, especially now that the election's done. But don't have much on my brain right now. You know, keep watching Discovery. It's doing okay. I think instead of doing like a 1 season long arc, they should do like several short arcs across the season, because it really seems like they're just filling up time between parts of the story. I think they could condense it a little bit. But other than that, not much has been going on. Tomorrow, I hit my 8th anniversary at my day job, and boy, it's been something. Black Friday this year has been split into 4 mini events, and well, it's been kind of hard on me because I've had to help them lug things on and off the floor. I think they're trying to kill me, or at least my back. But other than that, everything's pretty much fine. And I think we should just go ahead into the Star Wars news. Leslie Headland's Disney Plus series, Star Wars series, has been much anticipated. Now we're getting an idea of what that show will be about. Headland, in an interview with YouTuber Fantastic Frankie, said that the show will be a martial arts thriller with a female protagonist at a point in time that has been unexplored in previous Star Wars shows and movies. Quote, I would say it's in a pocket of the universe, and a pocket of the timeline that we don't know much about. That's what I can say, unquote. Now, about the show being female-centric, she said, quote, just because my show is technically, yes, female-centric, meaning it centers around a female protagonist, I don't think that necessarily excludes men from that space. I relate to male characters all the time. I root for Mando, I root for Luke, and inclusive space means an inclusive space. But at the same time, I think that just because something has a female protagonist doesn't necessarily mean it's only for women. I kind of see Star Wars as a religion. I like to think of my show as a tent revival. You can come over, and if you want to, you're going to be talking about some cool stuff. There's going to be some things we haven't discussed in the canon yet. There are going to be some characters that you don't know about. I would love you to join us. I would love you to be interested in it. If it's not your thing, the cool thing about Star Wars right now is there's so much you can align yourself with and get invested in, but if you don't like it, that's fine, unquote. So there's not a lot to go on in that little bit. Maybe we'll get some more on the show in the spring, and I think we all look forward to that. Mark Hamill's dogs have joined Twitter. His dogs, Millie and Mabel, have their own Twitter address, @HamillFurballs, and their first follower is, of course, their fur daddy, Mark Hamill, who tweeted, quote, guess who is officially their first follower? That's right, your favorite Hamill, me. #I officially have no life, unquote. Yeah, I think that's cute. Of course, if you want to see my dog, you can go over to our Instagram at Multiverse Tonight and at Multiverse Tom and check out my dog. I put up a picture of him every now and then. It makes for great advertising. Dogs and cats are great advertisers. Now let's go on to the Star Trek news. Star Trek author Dave Gallantier, who wrote the Discovery novel Dead Endless, has revealed that he is battling late-stage cancer. In a post on Twitter, the author wrote, quote, rarely am I very public on Facebook with my personal life. I've taken this route by baby steps, slowly telling friends and finally telling a private group, and always prefacing with, this isn't a secret, but it's not for public consumption either. If I had my druthers, I'd keep it that way. But there's a point at which the future can't be avoided, not forever, and I should probably face the fact I can't reach out to everyone individually again and again. Some of you know the details on this to one degree or another, but many do not. And before you feel like you have to say anything, I know there's really nothing one can say, because I've had to be in the position where someone broke their similar news to me, and I was always at a loss for words. There really are none. So here's the scoop. 2 or 3 weeks short of a year ago, I was diagnosed with late-stage cholangiocarcinoma, that's cancer of the bile ducts, which is not to say it has destroyed all of mine or anything like that. It just means that that's where the cells mutate. We've been grappling with the ups and downs of this for a while, obviously, and though we held out hope that there would be more time, I guess in a sense there has been since the diagnosis, that time is now running out. My latest treatment has only shown progression, the cancer is spreading or growing, and I am feeling some discomfort from the tumors. The doctor suggested I have 3 to 6 months left, but admitted it's probably closer to 3. Of course, that doesn't mean that time couldn't be more, but it also means it could be less. Everyone is different. My goal is clear. Spread as much good time with my family as I can. For those who don't know, my wife Samantha and I share a home with my brother Josh and his wife Tamara and their 3 kids. They're aged 4 and a half, 6 and 9, and are kind of like our grandkids. A young man who is like a son to my wife and me, and has been a very special part of our lives, is moving down here from Vermont with his lovely wife, and will live 15 minutes away. I adore these people, truly adore. So I've built this incredible close family who've been amazingly supportive and sad. As am I. I admit, there are times when the emotion overwhelms me and I just choke up and my eyes well with tears and my voice betrays me. Hell, sometimes there's a sob. But I am loath to spend my final days morose. What a waste of precious time that would be. Instead, I intend to spend these last months in as much joy as possible and as often as I can with those I love. And I don't think I can explain how strongly I do love these people. Hold on a second. There are the reason I wake up every morning, and I will continue to do so, to spend time with them until I just can't make it happen any longer. To quote Doctor Who, happily ever after doesn't mean forever, it just means time. A little time. Unquote. Dutch physicists at Leiden University have created a microscopic microprinted ship that resembles the USS Voyager that moves on its own in liquid. The ship, which was built as part of a larger research project, was highlighted in a scientific paper entitled, quote, Catalytically Propelled 3D Colloidal Microswimmers, unquote. Published in the journal Soft Matter, the mini-ship is one of several artificial mini-swimmers and is only microns big and will be able to move thanks to the chemical reactions between the platinum coating and the hydrogen peroxide solution that's placed in. The researchers are hopeful that these 3D printed designs will help them learn more about biological microswimmers like bacteria, white blood cells, and sperm. And the hope is that by learning who those things work, they could design a medical use for synthetic microswimmers. Think the nanites from Star Trek. During Viacom CBS's third quarter investors conference call, CEO Bob Bakish held up Star Trek as a sort of proof of the potential for the streaming service. Quote, We ended the quarter with 17.9 million domestic subscribers, up 72% year on year, which basically puts us just under the year-end target. And both CBS All Access and Showtime Streaming each had robust consumption growth in signups. Starting with All Access, the service benefited from strong demand for sports like UEFA and the NFL, or just like Star Trek Lower Decks and CBS network content like Big Brother and Love Island, as well as from the 3,500 library episodes added from Nickelodeon, BET, Comedy Central, MTV, and Smithsonian. Plus, the almost 200 films from Paramount that we added in late July as part of our preview launch. CBS All Access is now in the early stages of benefiting from the power of the combined company, unquote. Now, he also talked about how beneficial Star Trek has been to the growth of Pluto TV. Quote, Pluto TV continues to build on its position as the #1 fast, free, ad-supported streaming television service in the United States. In the quarter, Pluto TV's domestic monthly users grew 57% to 28.4 million and globally grew to nearly 36 million. In fact, in the US, Pluto now has well over 100,000 hours of compelling content available to consumers. We recently had nine Viacom CBS channels, including Star Trek, Bellator, CBSN, Dallas, and CSI, unquote. Now, Paramount Plus was also brought up, which is the rebranding of CBS All Access that will start in early 2021 and will combine, quote, live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment, including exclusive original content, plus a diverse and deep library of shows and movies spanning all programming genres from Viacom CBS leading brands in one unified service, unquote. Well, I there's not much to say there. I'm not really a stockholder either, so it sounds like CBS is doing well. So expect things to continue as they are. And now let's go on to the geek news. Back to the Future writer Bob Gale recently spoke with The Hollywood Reporter about actress Elsa Raven, who passed away on November 3rd at the age of 91. Elsa will be best known to Back to the Future fans as the lady asking for donations to save the courthouse clock tower. Gale told The Hollywood Reporter, quote, "She was one of those A-list performers who could turn a small role into a memorable one. Although she is on screen for probably less than a minute, everyone remembers her. And casting her is an example of director Bob Zemeckis' philosophy that every role is important and can be made memorable. Bob would never save money by hiring a cheaper performer in a small role, a lesson we learned on our first movie. A mediocre day player can ruin a film. Elsa communicates some key exposition in our movie with the audience that the audience needs to know, and it takes a great actress and a great director to make that come across in an entertaining way. She will always be remembered. Elsa, rest in peace, and my condolences to your many nieces and nephews," unquote. Now, Elsa also appeared in movies, notably the Amityville Horror, Twilight Zone the movie, Indecent Proposal, and Titanic, and she also appeared in several TV shows, including Quincy M.E., The A-Team, Highway to Heaven, Freddy's Nightmares, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Murphy Brown, Seinfeld, and Third Rock from the Sun. The Orville's third season is getting back on track. The production, like all Hollywood productions, had been put on hold when the pandemic started. Now, The Orville had gotten halfway through shooting when the shutdown hit. Now, prep work has begun, with production set to begin in December. Now, there was no target date yet for the season debut, but when that happens, it's expected that it will be at the end of 2021. Fingers crossed. Jurassic World Dominion has wrapped up production at UK's Pinewood Studios, which required 40,000 COVID tests, millions spent on protocols, and for the isolation of the cast and crew. Director Colin Trevorrow told Deadline.com, quote, "There are a lot of emotions. I'm not sure I can put it into words. It has been remarkable. Our crew and our cast has been so resilient. All producers have worked around the clock to make it the best it can be. It has been inspiring," unquote. Now, Trevorrow thinks that the experience of doing this during the quarantine will enhance the final film, saying, quote, "I think that close proximity to each other has made the movie better. Everything we were going through emotionally, we would share. We would rehearse on Sundays. We crafted the characters, which made the emotion of the film richer. I think the movie will be stronger for it," unquote. Now, the movie Jurassic World Dominion is due out on June of 2022. Johnny Depp is officially out of the third Fantastic Beasts movie. He broke the news on Instagram saying, quote, "I wish to let you know that I have been asked to resign by Warner Brothers from my role as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts, and I have respected and agreed to that request." Now, here's the thing. Even though he's out of the movie, Depp will still make the $10 million salary he was going to get for making the movie anyway. He has what's called a pay-or-play contract with Warner Brothers that says that he will be paid regardless of whether he acts in the film or not. And they had only shot one scene with him when this stopped. The movie will now be pushed back from its original target date of November of 2021 to the summer of 2022, and there's no word yet on who will take over the role. And while we're on movie dates, Ryan Reynolds' video game movie Free Guy and the sequel to Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, are now kind of unmoored from set release dates. Free Guy was due out next month on December 11th, and Death was due on December 18th. But now they're just free floating, until things settle down enough that they can be given a concrete release date. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Xbox's first Halo game, Halo Combat Evolved, came out 19 years ago this past Sunday. Well, I'm just going to let that fact sit there. You're getting old. And that brings us to the end of the sci-fi news for today. And now be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. And if you'd like to contribute some money, please visit mtpodcast.com to go to the Coffee, Patreon, and Glow.fm links as well. Or just go over to Multiverse Tonight and hit the Support Me link at the top of the page. And be sure to visit multiversetonight.com to check out the affiliate marketplace links, the link to the TeePublic store. Now, there's always a sale there at this time of year. Our show notes, and so much more. And if you'd like to be a subscriber, please be sure to share us with your friends. And if you're brand new to the show, be sure to subscribe. Leave us with some feedback. Let me know how we're doing. I really want to know. Special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music. Thanks for watching the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in just 2 weeks, or 2 days with a brand new comic book edition, and 2 weeks with a brand new sci-fi edition. Now, please, exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Half-Baked Genre Productions, copyright 2020, all rights reserved. Alright, folks, one down, one to go. Not to be paranoid. Always want to make sure that that your show recorded, So let me do that real quick. Woohoo! I've received my invitation for Monday Night Raw tonight to be in the Thunderdome. So I guess I'll have to Mark Hamill follows the dogs on Twitter. Several short arcs across the season. And it's been kind of martial arts thriller with a female protagonist at a point in time that has been unexplored. Great, I think I found something layered. Hold on, folks. I bet you I know what happened. I think it says pulling in from... try something real quick. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. So, excuse me. That was rude of me, wasn't it? What can I say? Okay, well that works. At least half of the program will be good. So we will silence that one. On here then. Okay. Check. Check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check. Check, check, check. I think we're ready to go. Yeah, I've been working, trying to get things done here. Trying to get things, so I can like hear things when I put things into, start things up, so I can monitor them. One of these days I'll have this all perfectly set up and then I'll mess it up. So, alright. Let's get on with the comic book edition, shall we? Tonight, WandaVision has a release date, the Suicide Squad gets a sly new star, hope for the Venture Brothers fans, and we remember one of Scooby-Doo's creators. All that and more on the comic edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 103 of Multiverse Tonight, the comic book edition. I'm your host, of course, Thomas Townley. And, well, here we are again. It's still the middle of November. And I really don't have much to talk about right now. It's, between work and, finishing up the, seeing the election finally come to its conclusion and all that. I don't really have that much to talk about. So, instead of just, blathering on and on here, it's not like I have co-host or anything, I'm just going to go ahead with the Marvel news. So let's go. Marvel news, Chris Claremont and Fabian Nietzsche are returning to the X-Men to finally tell the story about the fabled third Summers brother. The series, called X-Men Legends, is a little series that will bring back some of the biggest writers in X-Men history to tell stories related to the time periods and stories in which they were writing the characters. Fabian, in a statement, said, quote, "It's incredibly exciting to finally tell the story of the infamous third Summers brother. 25 years in the making, to see the truth about Adam X revealed and drawn so magnificently by Brett Booth is one of the most surreal experiences of my career. Getting the opportunity to tell this tale while kicking off the new X-Men Legends series is extremely exciting." Unquote. Now, future issues of the series will feature work by Chris Claremont, Louise Simonson, Larry Hama, Peter David, and many more. New Marvel Disney Plus series WandaVision will debut on the service on January 15th. Now, it was expected that the series would debut in December, and this makes the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the only MCU series or movie to air during the year 2020. Now, here's a fun fact. WandaVision was filmed like an actual sitcom in front of a live studio audience. The audience had to sign very strict NDAs to keep them from leaking spoilers about the show. Now, star Elizabeth Olsen told Entertainment Weekly, quote, "It was insanity. There was something very meta for my own life because I would visit those tapings as a kid where my sisters were working on Full House." Now, Paul Bettany added, quote, "We were all so high by the end of it. We wanted to keep on running the show. Maybe take it out on tour or something. WandaVision on ice." Unquote. Now, Disney Plus, by the way, just passed its first anniversary with nearly 74 million subscribers. Marvel has laid off publisher John Nee, according to sources telling The Hollywood Reporter. Nee joined the House of Ideas in January 2018, taking over for Dan Buckley, who was promoted to president of Marvel Entertainment. Now, before this, Nee had been working for DC and co-founded and ran gaming company Cryptozoic Entertainment. When asked for comments, Marvel didn't have any. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have reignited their feud, this time for a good cause. In this case, it's a sales contest. From November 10th to December 20th, anyone will have the ability to purchase Aviation Gin or Laughing Man coffee at Sam's Club locations in the United States. Each purchase will count as a vote for either star. Aviation for Team Ryan and Laughing Man for Team Hugh. You can also vote online as well at samsclub.promo.eprize.com/thefeud. An entry there will also put you in the running for a virtual party with Hugh and Ryan. The ultimate winner gets bragging rights, and Sam's has pledged to donate equally to both the Laughing Man Foundation and the Sick Kids Foundation on December 20th. The estate of Marvel artist John Buscema has been robbed. According to the late artist's daughter, Diane Buscema Gorganas, reported pieces of comic art stolen. Now, among the 45 pieces stolen range from an original Mephisto to original art from Just Imagine Stan Lee creating Superman. In the post on Facebook, she wrote, quote, "I am reaching out to you all as 45 pieces of Dad's original artwork was stolen from our family this morning. I cannot go into detail as the police and authorities have been notified. I'm asking you to please contact me if you hear or see anything for sale. I cannot post photos of everything that has been taken, but I am posting some." John Buscema passed away in 2002 and was really big in Marvel back in the 60s and 70s. Now, let's go on to the DC news. Alright, start DC Comics news today with a little announcement. DC Comics has named Marie Javins as the new editor-in-chief. In the statement, DC's Senior Vice President and General Manager Daniel Cherry III said, quote, "Marie intrinsically understands the power of comics and their unique ability to entertain and empower, which makes her a perfect choice to be DC's next editor-in-chief. In addition to her many creative talents, she's also incredibly committed to increasing access to this amazing industry by mentoring the next generation of comic book creators and helping them find their voices. I look forward to working with her in her new role." Unquote. Now, she will now be the sole EIC, as Marie and Michelle Wells were named co-editors-in-chief back in August after the departure of Bob Harris and the restructuring caused by parent company AT&T. Javins will spearhead the company's publishing schedule with an eye on growing imprints and expanding the brand's reach worldwide, as well as providing editorial and creative guidance. The Batman's Robert Pattinson is trying to make his own version of Batman. In an interview with Vanity Fair France, Patton said, quote, "To start, the Batman. I'm using things at the moment that seem fragile compared to the importance of the project. Conversations I've had with close friends, embryos of dreams. This is the secret and sensitive part of the actor facing the heaviness of the project. On the Batman, on Tenet, a gigantic team of technicians surrounds you, and when you say, 'Let's go, Robert, action,' you have to forget this mass of people and play in front of your own thoughts, your own demons. Yes, I have an actor's excitement to face the tension of the set, the inordinate expectation of all these people, and to transform it into a dialogue between me and myself. It's an exciting and horrible feeling to be that little bleep who risked planting all the heavy artillery, all that war infrastructure, because she wasn't able to go and get it. I think about that. I think a few days before I shoot. I look first at the character and what I have to do with it, how I'm going to have to invent nuances in this shell, make it more complex all the time. Batman is a role in which I have to learn how to play ambiguity better. It's out of the question to interpret a character of a single color. It's beautiful. People who seem to live in two states at the same time." Unquote. The Batman is due in theaters on March 4th, 2022. Yeah, the less I say about that wall of text, the better. Superman and Lois are set to debut on the CW in February, and series star Elizabeth Tulloch has been giving regular updates and teases on social media. Lately, she's promised to keep plenty of purple in Lois's wardrobe after fans told her that Lois wore lots of purple, saying, quote, "I just want everyone who said that they want to see Lois in a lot of purple to know that I heard you loud and clear. There will be a lot of purple," unquote. Now, the series revolves around Lois and Clark as they deal with the stress, pressures, and complexities that come from being working parents in today's society. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad has added one more to the roster, Sylvester Stallone. Sly's involvement was part of an Instagram post by Gunn and Stallone with the caption, quote, "Always love working with my friend at official Sly Stallone, and our work today on hashtag The Suicide Squad was no exception." Sly being an iconic movie star, most people still don't have an idea what an amazing actor this guy is, unquote. Now, speaking of the squad, the Peacemaker spin-off series with John Cena has a working title. According to The Ronin, it's going under the name The Scriptures. The site also says that the show will film from January 18th to June 18th. Now, this jives with a recent tweet from James Gunn saying that shooting would begin after a 2-week quarantine. The spin-off series is planned for HBO Max, with James Gunn writing all 8 episodes and directing a handful of them. Now, the election is over here in the United States, and despite what the current occupant of the White House says, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are the winners. Wonder Woman actress Linda Carter celebrated the win on social media by noting the date that the win was finally announced on was a very special date for her in another way. She tweeted, quote, "On this day, 45 years ago, I appeared on television as Wonder Woman for the very first time. I'm honored to be a part of this legacy and everything that it represents, and so thrilled to celebrate the power of women on such an auspicious day," unquote. Now, the Wonder Woman series ran for 3 seasons between 1975 and 1979, 1 season on ABC and 2 on CBS. Now, let's go to the geek news. A throwaway joke from the first season of Rick and Morty is getting realized. The butter robot, as seen on the episode Something Wicked This Way Comes, was unveiled during the Rick and Morty Global Celebration panel during the Adult Swim Virtual Festival. The butter robot, according to its website, TheButterRobot.com has an assortment of audio, video sensors, and lifelike mechanical movements to give the Butter Robot the ability to relay its unique human-like personality while performing complex commands. It has text-to-voice that will allow users to enjoy the robot interacting with its surroundings or parroting what you tell it to say through its app. And a motion engine will allow the robot to, quote, react to influences from its environment and adapts to becoming more self-aware over time while choosing to rebel against commands. You can pre-order the Butter Robot now for the introductory price of $147. That's about $50 to $60 off the final retail price. Now, it will come numbered and has Justin Roiland's embossed signature. You can order yours today at thebutterrobot.com. Lego has announced their biggest Lego set yet, the Roman Colosseum. Now, this set has a total of 9,036 pieces that fit together to recreate the world's most famous concrete structure. The finished structure will be 10.5 inches high, 20.5 inches wide, and 23.5 inches deep, and the set will be available starting on Black Friday as part of the Lego Store and Lego.com's Black Friday deals. The list price for the set is $549.99. If you buy me one, I'll build it right here on the live stream, okay? Yeah, that would be amazing. Don't know where I'd put it. Anyway, Jeff Johns will be creating a new comic at Image Comics with artist Gary Frank. The comic, called Giger, takes place on a post-apocalyptic Earth. Here's the synopsis quote. What are the scavengers of a dying Earth? Giger is set in the years since a nuclear war ravaged the planet. Desperate outlaws battle for survival in a world of radioactive chaos. Out past the poisoned wasteland lives a man even the nightcrawlers and Oregon people fear. Some know him as Joe Glow. Others call him the Meltdown Man. But his name is Giger. Giger #1 will be out in April. Netflix is going to try something new. A program channel. You know, like, well, network TV. I know, novel concept, right? Netflix started testing the concept in France with a handful of users and plans to release it to the rest of France at a later date. No word on if they'll try this in the United States or other countries. You know? I hate to say I could go for like a set program channel because frankly there's too much out there and I have a hard time choosing. Yeah. Just saying. The People's Choice Awards have happened and there have been quite a few genre winners. Mulan won Action Movie of the Year. Disney's Onward won Family Movie. Riverdale won the Drama Award. Cole Sprouse from Riverdale won Male TV Star of 2020. And Wynonna Earp got Sci-Fi Fantasy Show. Congratulations to all the winners. Yeah, those are basically, those are the ones I care to report on. The rest of them, meh. The Venture Brothers might have found a new home. AVClub.com reports that a tweet from HBO Max head Andy Forsell might be the answer Venture fans have been waiting for. Quote, the Venture Brothers fans are passionate, but incredibly civil. I have received tons of emails, all of which are short, very well written notes, oozing with politeness. Class fans. Nothing imminent, but know that we're working on it. Hashtag save the Venture Brothers, unquote. So keep politely reaching out, Venture fans. We may save Rusty yet. The house from the show Full House has been sold for $5.3 million. The Victorian-style home, located at 1709 Broderick in the Postcard Road neighborhood of San Francisco, has been listed on the market since May of 2019 for $6 million. Now that price was cut to $5.5 million this past February. Congratulations to whoever bought it. Remember the movie Bloodshot that opened just as movie theaters worldwide shut down? Yeah, probably not. It opened almost at the same time that everything else shut down. It survived for a short time and then went quickly to video on demand release and is now out on Blu-ray and DVD. Now, Valiant's parent company, DMG, has confirmed plans for a sequel with Vin Diesel possibly reprising the role. Now, DMG Entertainment creative head and filmmaker Dan Mintz told CBR.com, quote, "I think Bloodshot was very successful in that respect. A lot of people saw it, and it did very well in the post-release rollout, but you can't use the same evaluation process pre-COVID to do this. Are Vin Diesel and all those people going to still continue? Yes, because it did so well and the response to it has been so well. It's just that the response has been in a non-transparent environment as opposed to a transparent environment like box office numbers," unquote. Now, there's no concrete details about the new Bloodshot movie that's has surfaced, and frankly, I've never heard anyone even talk about the Bloodshot movie. If you've seen it, send me a tweet, send me an email, tell me about it, because frankly, I have never heard anyone mention this. What can I say? Now, some sad news to close this out. The other half of Scooby-Doo's creators, Ken Spears, has passed away. Now, according to Spears' son, Kevin, his dad died from complications related to Lewy body dementia, which is a degenerative condition similar to Alzheimer's disease. Ken was born Charles Kenneth Spears on March 12, 1938. He grew up in Los Angeles, where he befriended the son of William Hanna. In 1959, he was hired at Hanna-Barbera Productions. Now, while working in the editing department, he met his partner, Joe Ruby, and began what was a long writing and producing partnership. Spears and Ruby would create such memorable shows as Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, Dynamite, Dog Wonder, and Jabberjaw for Hanna-Barbera, and the Barkleys and the Houndcats for the Patty Freeling. They would later be hired to supervise the CBS Saturday morning cartoon lineup and later ABC's. Spears was also a story consultant for the 1974 Planet of the Apes cartoon series. Now, in 1977, Spears and Ruby created their own Ruby Spears Productions, where they produced shows like Superman, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Fangface, Mr. T, the Plastic Man Comedy Adventure Hour, Thundar the Barbarian, and Saturday Supercade. In 1981, they sold the company to the parent company of Hanna-Barbera. Joe Ruby died back on August 27th of this year at the age of 87. Now, in a statement, Kevin said, quote, "Ken will be remembered for his wit, his storytelling, his loyalty to family, and his strong work ethic." He went on to say, "Ken has not only made a lasting impression on his family, but he has touched the lives of many as co-creator of Scooby-Doo. Ken has been a role model for us throughout his life and will continue to live on in our hearts," unquote. Now, Ken Spears passed away at the age of 82. He's survived by his sons Kevin and Chris, their wives, and his 5 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. And that brings us to the end of the comic book news. Now, you go ahead and check me out on social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. Go over to Instagram and check out my dog. What can you say? It's a cute dog photo. Now, if you'd like to contribute to the podcast financially, just go over to mtpodcast.com to go to the Coffee, Patreon, and Glow.fm links, as well as going over to Multiverse Tonight and hitting the Support Me link at the top of the page. And be sure to visit Multiverse Tonight and hit the support and multiversetonight.com and check out the affiliate marketplace links, the link to the TeePublic store, our show notes, and so much more. And if be sure to subscribe. Just hit that little bell or check mark or whatever in your app to subscribe to us, so you'll get these automatically every week or every other week. And be sure to also share us with your friends. If you're brand new to the show, again, I implore you to subscribe. If you'd like to leave us with some feedback, and let me know how everything's going on your end. Let me know how, let you know how I'm doing, all that. Go ahead and go over there. Special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music. Now, thanks for watching the comic book edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a brand new sci-fi and comic book edition. Now, please exit the universe in an orderly fashion, and good night. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Half Baked Genre Productions, copyright 2020, all rights reserved. They're mine, I tell you, mine. Alright folks, well that brings us to the end of the show for this week. I think anyone who catches this stream later or is on YouTube or any place that I don't have access right now, so I'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night.